Brain Candy Podcast 652.
In a minute.
Yeah, I was just watching clips of Howard Stern. He had John Hamm on as a guest, and I'm not sure John Hamm is a Jew, but I think he is, and he may be the next Paul Newman.
He's my favorite part about John Hamm is that he loves making fun of himself.
Oh, he is Jew?
No, I don't know that he's a Jew.
Oh, you just mean he's self-deprecating?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
I love that he, like, you know, all the commercials that he's doing now that are like, oh, Netflix invited everybody else to do a show, but you don't call John Hamm. Like, and then he he does the progressive insurance where he's like obsessed with Flo, or I don't know what kind of insurance it is, and he loves her and like tries to go to extremes to like get her attention. These are hilarious things.
Yes,
he
I
does
love
not
that
take
guy.
himself too seriously. He was on Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah,
he played. He played Larry.
He played himself.
He played himself.
Yes.
But he was going to go for the part of Larry, I believe.
Yeah, like a Larry David character.
Yes.
And so he followed him.
Yes.
He's so funny and handsome. It's just like seems wrong, like for someone to be so funny and also gorgeous with a gigantic wiener.
Yeah. He does have a big one, huh?
Were you almost going to say I met him?
No, I was not. I was just got all tongue-tied. Well, that's not the right thing to say right now. But I got all flustered. Maybe that's the better word. Thinking about, John Hamm. Which, does he really have a big one?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's legendary.
Come
it's
on.
Like Milton
the
Berle.
last name.
Oh, my God.
As actually what you make wieners out of.
Yes.
Susie, I was at Costco the other day, and there were hot dogs, but they were like bison dogs, but they didn't call them bison dogs. They called them bison wieners. And I was like, I need to take a picture of this. But I was on my crutches, and I couldn't get to my phone because it was in my bag. But Eli had my bag, which he carries very well, by the way. And, so,
Bison wieners at Costco. Wieners. My gosh.
I want to go back just for the photo, but I don't have a Costco card. It was Eli's.
I can't believe you were at Costco. What are you buying in bulk?
Seafood.
Why?
Because I made, for my brother's birthday, it was really fun. I made a seafood boil.
Oh, that's right. Okay,
which my family had never heard of, and and I realized,
did you put the newspapers down and everything?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, West Coast, this really isn't a thing. And I think the only reason I know is because of trips, with people I've dated, like who had family that lived on the East Coast. And so, I knew what this was.
That is good times.
It's so easy. It's so fast. It's always a crowd pleaser.
I
love a food that's an activity. I know my family does too. It keeps them busy because they're all fidgety.
Sarah, that is so funny because I was just reading an article about those stupid ass dinners where you have to be blindfolded.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, I hate anything about a dinner that's more than a dinner.
And my entire family, where 3 out of 4 of us have ADHD, and we're talking severe, like not diagnosed until like adult, like way too late, if you ask me. And unmedicated 90% of the time, because who can remember in this family? So I thought an activity where everybody gets to use their hands would be ideal. So Costco has great seafood.
Yeah. And, are you a member, though? You pay?
But Eli is, because he's got a big family. And so,
that makes sense. Okay.
Dating him? Yeah. Or his Costco card?
Yeah. For his Costco membership. Yeah. I was thinking, I do not want any kind of novelty act during my dinner. I do not want to wear a blindfold. I don't want a murder mystery.
Well, oh my God, I was just with all my camp friends and we were saying we would love a murder mystery. And we said they even have murder mystery on a train. And we were like, yes, dinner on a train.
What is wrong with you?
We're all into it. Susie, look.
No.
We are
the food is
similar
enough.
In many ways and different in many ways. And that is what makes this as wonderful as it is. It is the balance of two similar. She's rolling her eyes, folks.
It's
if you guys,
it's actually
that is
hard
worth the
for
Patreon membership just for this reaction right here alone. It's so good.
Because I want to be like, well, different strokes. Like, I want to be that person who thinks that, like,
no,
theoretically,
it sounds more like you want to be Larry David.
But like I am Larry.
Right,
like I just think
you're Deep
wrong
down,
about
you
it.
You're right.
But why would the meal not be enough? You know what I mean? Like, it's enough. I even don't want birthday singing.
Oh, well, that I agree with. Fuck that.
Okay. Because why?
Have you ever heard anyone sing the birthday song well? And I'm talking regular birthday song, not amazing, awesome Stevie Wonder birthday song, which everyone sings awesome and we should only be singing. That's fine. I'll allow it. But
but just the good old fashioned. No.
Really?
Thank you.
Have you ever heard, I will not allow a regular birthday song.
Especially with cha-cha-chas.
Oh, and don't give me many mores. I did see a really funny video of people who just sang the happy birthday song, but they only sang the happy birthday line. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Why?
Hilarious. That's funny.
Is it just for the comedic element?
I think so. I giggled when I saw it. And then you sing it in your head and you know exactly what's happening. But it doesn't break any copyrights.
Yeah, that's true. Good point. They're just announcing it's a birthday.
Yeah. You worked at a restaurant where you had to sing a stupid birthday song. How did you like that? You know, your boots and spurs, Lone Star
steak. I don't think we did the birthday.
What?
No. Mm-mm. No, I never had
Not
to do that.
Not even at Chili's?
They do it now, I notice, when I'm there. But we didn't have that.
Happy birthday, make all your dreams come true. We wish it was our birthday so we could party too. Hey!
That's the Chili's one?
I don't know. That's one of them somewhere, but I memorized that one as a kid, and I can't get... I apologize, because I couldn't get that in my head for however many, 30 years.
I would love to interview anybody who has created like a restaurant birthday jingle. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like, how did you do it? How long did it take? What were the kind of parameters? How long did it have to be? Because that's a real short one.
I feel like this starts the same way any of our camp songs get created. Where one person with a ukulele who's like a little too into their job, me. It's funny because any of my camp friends listening are like, what? Why is she calling me out? Because we're all the same. And I'm not talking about you guys. I'm talking about me.
She's including herself.
I'm totally including myself. Spent time making a song, introduced it to, spent all season thinking about it, got up the courage to then introduce it to their shift. They sang it, and then they got other people on board. I think this was an in-house production.
I think so, too. That sounds right. My God. It's tragic.
Somewhere is a tie-dye shirt. Someone was wearing a tie-dye shirt in this process. I know it.
Well, I would bet if you had to rank globally the birthday songs that you sing in every country, we have to have the worst one. Musically. It's
Susie,
the worst song.
Listen, it's right up there with our seasoning. It's not good.
Yeah, right.
It's
bland.
Yeah.
It's one note.
Yes, this is what I'm saying. There's no flavor. Mm-hmm. No.
Yeah, that's why you're so into the Stevie
spice.
Wonder thing, because it's like the only,
Right.
Okay.
And I want the actual birthday song from that country, not the birthday song in that language, because it's the same tone, you know. You gotta come with a new song. I want to hear, because I feel like when we were talking about Bo having her quinceañera, didn't many of our Latin American friends say that there was amazing songs And then they sang it.
Oh, I don't know. I'm out of the
Yeah.
loop on it.
Isabel and
They were making some good
yes, they were talking about a
arguments
song.
for
and now
why
I
this
want to
has
hear
to
everybody's
happen.
like I want to hear birthday songs and different. Why have we never talked about this on a podcast episode?
Yeah, right. My God. After all these episodes, we still have new stuff to talk about. And another new thing I have to talk about is how great a GladSkin is, which is... Oh, Sarah's making the victory hand signal.
Listen,
Yeah.
sometimes I know what our sponsors are going to be,
Yeah.
and then other times
Yeah.
I magically get an email that says the following package with the following items are being delivered, and I'm like, wait, how do they know I'm super stressed out and have eczema right now? Susie,
Wow.
this
That's awesome.
I am so I could cry because
Oh my gosh.
I will. It's so embarrassing and it's so shitty. And my mom's here and she has psoriasis, and the amount of stuff products for our skin, like to just be normal humans,
Yeah.
is like overwhelming. So to have a line that's like straightforward, beginning to end, here you go, clean, like,
Right.
you know,
Exactly.
it's
Just
silly,
stuff
but
that's
I
good
think
for
anybody
you.
with skin problems fucking gets
Can
it.
relate.
Oh.
Yeah. That's the thing. And when we partnered with them, I thought to myself, Sarah's going to love this because
It was
that's
like such
one
a
of the-
surprise. I'm like,
Yeah.
I actually am I get little patches and it's awful and it like is embarrassing and they're on my back and it looks like, I don't know, it looks like I've just got, something. I don't like it. So I'd like
No, it's
anything that can
awful.
work to help fix that. Combat
Right.
that.
And ever since in book club, we read, well, I chose the book Clean by last name Hamblin. He talked about how we're like destroying our skin's microbiome. And so I seek out now products that try to foster it rather than destroy it. And GladSkin is one of those products because they want to make, skin products for all ages of people, whether you have as a baby or all the way up to an adult. If you have eczema, acne, rosacea, any of that stuff, which is so embarrassing and it feels so shameful.
Yes.
And like, what am I going to do? This is a tragedy. And they help you get back on track. They use microbalance, which is a revolutionary protein that restores that microbiome and the bacteria. You got to get the good and the bad in balance, right?
That's the imbalance like that. It's always been like a back and forth, and it's like constant, and it feels so soothing.
And it's steroid free and it works without harsh ingredients, so it's great. If you've been frustrated with your treatment options, don't wait to try GladSkin. They're offering our listeners 15% off plus free shipping on your first order at gladskin.com/braincandy. That's gladskin.com/braincandy for 15% off plus free shipping. gladskin.com/braincandy. You guys are going to love it. So great.
And a little bit too late because my like when I got back from camp. And
Oh my
I had
gosh.
the skin problems.
There was an incident.
The ingredients that are in that are in all of my mom's, stuff for her eczema and psoriasis. So this is the stuff that if I
You could have used.
yes, prevents. I'm just susceptible to. I'm like a petri
Well, yeah,
dish.
you always say that. You're a real sensitive gal.
I'm a sensitive gal. So this stuff is, I know people feel me on this.
Yeah, because anybody that's had this stuff knows it's awful. Yeah. Okay, moving on. Oh my gosh, on Netflix, craziest docuseries ever, Sins of Our Mother.
Okay. Do I need to watch
God.
this? Yes.
Yeah, it's great. I
Do I
mean,
need to watch
but it's
this
terrible.
with my mother? My
Good
mom is currently
question.
staying with me, and
Well, the essence of it, I'm sure you guys have heard the story in the news, like in 2020 is when it happened. Like these two kids went missing.
Yeah.
They were siblings. And then like we eventually found out like they were killed and they were killed by their mom.
I was so suspicious because of how old they were.
Really?
Yeah. I was like,
Why?
in this day and age, no 13-year-old or she was old.
She was 16, yeah.
16. No 16-year-old goes disappearing with their little brother.
Yeah.
And oldest child who feels responsible for the younger sibling. As the oldest daughter, I would have been like one time I got lost with my siblings in Rome or Florence, Italy. Florence. And I marched us right to the police station in another country and was like, we're lost. And I knew where we needed to go.
Right.
And, because you feel, so if she were somewhere out place, she would know what to do. Like, and you're not even in a foreign speak country. That I was like, very suspicious. Something's up. So, okay.
Well,
Anyways.
I mean, the essence of the story is about religious fundamentalism. And I'll tell you, those Mormons, they cannot catch a break this year.
Is it really?
Yes. This woman,
tell me what part of this
well, she's in the LDS,
murder my children.
Yeah, but to be fair, like, it has nothing to do really with normal traditional LDS. Yeah. But that was sort of the foundation, which it could have been anything. Like, I grew up in Pentecostal, just a touch below the snake handlers. So, like, I could have easily been a part of it. So, like, I'm not shaming them. But sometimes, Sarah, you can speak to this. You know that thing how folks that struggle with certain kinds of mental illness can get hyper religious?
Absolutely. It's an actual symptom and sign. Yes. Yeah.
So that thing that you probably even have noticed it, people with like
bipolar disorder tends to lean towards. Like, it's religious, like grandiosity. It's like delusions of like, it could go either way, religious or they believe that they are.
Yeah, so they even spoke to that, how she like would say, God loves everybody, but he loves me the most, kind of deal.
There you go. Yeah, they're chosen
and
the same way.
They're looking at life through this metaphysical or supernatural lens that can take you over the old deep end, and that's basically what happened.
You know, when you think about that, like, in a way, it's like feeling really fulfilled, feeling really like, I almost think it's like we don't really know how serotonin and dopamine are linked to these mental illnesses. And I feel like recently we have unlearned some things too that were like commonly held beliefs about that. I can't remember what it is, but I just read something along those lines talking about serotonin, dopamine. It's like not as strong because now all the gut stuff, I think all the information about our gut coming out with like how that relates to stuff. Anyways, blah, blah, blah. Like we don't, but I can see how feeling very fulfilled is that similar feeling that you get with like meditating for a long time or spending a long time in prayer when all you're really doing is, and we've talked about the science of like being mindful and being present and you're shutting out outside thoughts and you're focused more on like your internal experience. And then you like feel more connected to a universal oneness that like we've talked about with, all the shrooms and like psychedelics and things like that, that like in a way when you combine it shares similar elements because good feelings are good feelings. Mm-hmm. And you can take the fucking tram up to the top of the mountain, or you can walk up, or some people have a mental illness maybe where they, I don't know, have like a jetpack. And they can't even help themselves, and they can't even control it like a jetpack, and it flies all over the place. I don't know; it's a loose metaphor, but I feel like it's so funny. In the same way, it's still like because if you like, I don't know, it's those similar. Mm-hmm. I just read an article about mice that said mice who get rejected sexually will go towards alcohol, like food that has been treated with alcohol. So like food with alcohol in it, like they'll treat themselves with alcohol because it really has the same, like there's only one receptor, and the same receptor for like sex satisfaction, and whatever we get when we drink alcohol is like the same receptor, at least in mice, and they believe in humans. So that feeling of satisfaction is like similar.
That is totally. I am never bored when I hear how the brain is operating.
Yeah,
because it shows the wonder of this instrument in our body, and also the fallibility and the weaknesses of it that are just like, uh-oh.
Yeah. And I'm not even like making any like connection, like strong connection. I'm just saying, like, if you consider all these things, isn't it kind of interesting?
Sure.
You know, that those are similar. So I can, and you can kind of understand how religion would be. Well, I should say this. Anything that floods those receptors with positive, like an environment that supports whatever that is. I feel like it's an environment that would cater to, I don't know, whatever would come with the brain that was seeking all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, it's funny because she had a podcast that was about her faith, and I thought, if Sarah and I ever fuck up, people are going to be mining all this terrible content for
goodness.
like evidence of our lunacy,
right.
Which they won't have to look far. I mean, let's face it.
Hey, we're only on episode like 3 or 4 of things we got wrong, and I have already heard like what an awful human I am in the way that I have like. I'm like, oh my God, that
right.
Oh, fuck, Sarah, be nice.
The real thing to worry is if you listen back and think like, yeah, that sounds great, because I'm pretty sure that's how she would have felt. You know what I mean? Like she was just like all in on her bullshit. And she had, I mean, the details are amazing and bizarre, but the essence is that she truly believed that her children were zombies.
No, see, this is, come on.
That they, in order to kind of like save them, she had to kill them. That kind of deal. Where this
is where it gets really, because like there are stories in the Bible that will one with such ideas may point to as.
And they're not obscure. Abraham and Isaac.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
If I can name them off the top of my head, and, you know.
Yeah, like, if you have, whatever you believe, you can find it justified in the Bible. That's anything you want. Yeah. Murder, slavery, adultery even, which, you know, anything. Polygamy, we got it. Mm-hmm. So... if you're raised in a tradition, then that's going to be the lens through which you see the world. Yes. And so then if you happen to struggle with certain kinds of mental illness, then certainly that could be a way that you plug it in, you know? And then
I guess what I'm saying is it wouldn't be as easy to plug it into academics. Like,
right. Well,
it just happens to fit.
Yeah, nicely, spiritual. Well, because it's supernatural, right? It doesn't have to work within the confines of like our earthly understanding of the world. Yes. What does work with the earthly understanding of the world, of course, is Rothy's.
Yeah, man.
And these shoes, you're gonna want them.
I know.
You're gonna want them.
I think everybody is getting these for Christmas.
Everybody should get these for Christmas.
Yeah. Right?
You need a flat. But you need it to not look like garbage, and you need it to last forever.
Everybody's getting these for Hanukkah. That's what I meant.
Everybody's getting these for Hanukkah. Okay, but we all know this is fall. Everyone's getting their new threads, okay? So add Rothy's to that. They have flats, the point, the loafer, whatever you want, the sneaker. Yes. Tons of colors, tons of cute styles. You throw them in the washer, come out good as new. They're made from recycled plastic. What more do you want?
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Find your new favorite shoes and get ready to be asked for this, Ross.
You can wash them.
Plus, get $20 off your first purchase at rothys.com/braincandy. That's ROTHYS.com/braincandy. I'm telling you.
I was just thinking the other day how I was like, I went somewhere where the dirt was, we were some camping trip. They were like my shoes I was like throwing on. We went out to like a nice dinner and in the town one night. And I had like red dirt on them from wherever we were camping. Washed it off.
No problem.
No problem.
Sarah.
Love it.
Any hoodles. Okay, Sins of My Mother.
Oh, man, yeah.
It's intense. It makes me really sad, though, because this is a gal who, after killing her kids and then other people died, too, like her husband and then her new boyfriend's wife. Like, lots of people died because of their beliefs.
How... Just give me the spoilers. Like, spoilers for me. How, and this is messed up, but what was her method of...
I don't know, actually.
People?
I don't know. They're just all dead. I don't know the answer to that question. Her husband died from a gunshot wound, but that is not how everybody died.
And was she the one who pulled the trigger?
No.
Yeah, this seems like...
That's what's crazy is this story, everything you learn is like, how could this all have happened? Mm-hmm. Mainly because they're white. So like all this stuff was sort of piecemeal. Like, oh, this guy died. Oh, it was self-defense. Or this lady died. She must have had. And then like when you put it all together, you're like, oh my God, they're orchestrating the death of all these people because they think they're zombies.
Oh my God.
But what made it, okay. You know that thing where if someone, let's say you became a drug user, like a hard drugs, and, you're using it recreationally, and then like over time, of course, it increases and blah, blah, blah. Because you're charming and smart, you're going to be able to sort of, quote, get away with it for longer.
For sure.
Because like when the police call, you're going to be like...
to a lot of people from the show who maybe end up in situations that,
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Because you can, you have a good EQ where you can read people and you can be like, oh my gosh, I totally get it. That thing I always say where all you have to do is say like, I know this sounds weird, and you can get away with pretty much anything.
Yep.
Like if you preface anything with like, I know this sounds crazy.
Do you remember the one time I got pulled over and I had to do the breathalyzer test?
Which she was not drunk, by the way.
And I was not drunk. So,
but still
and I did the breathalyzer test and passed.
Yeah, it was fine.
But it was terrifying. Like, I was totally fine. But I did the breath. I thought in my mind in that moment, because I was like, what would Susie do? And Susie was like, what you should do in this moment is whatever you think a drunk person would not do. And a drunk person would definitely not talk about how nervous they are because they would try
They want to act like they're fine.
Like they're fine. And so I was like, oh, I have no idea what is wrong with me. I am so nervous right now, which is absolutely accurate. But which is why honesty is the best policy. If you just tell them exactly how you're feeling, this is like, hello, transparency. And again, took the breathalyzer. And then they were like, do you know how to get out of here? And I was so nervous. And I said, yes, I did not know how to get out of there. And then I was like, I hope I don't just drive in circles now. And then and I swear to God, what I got pulled over for was dancing and singing and grooving to my music. I know that that's what it was. That's not what they said. They said it was because my license plate light was out.
You were a distracted driver.
I think that I was just having a good time. And they were like, nobody dances like that sober.
It was probably... like how slow she was going, because let me tell you, Sarah is a granny on the road.
Suze, my mom told me that so is Lucas, that everybody in our family, and I think it's because Grandma taught us how to drive, and so we all drive like Grandma.
I thought it was because you were like, you know what, I'm in no hurry.
No. Lucas is drives a fire truck and an ambulance and did
He's
that.
He's actually in a hurry.
He is in a hurry, and even he drives slow.
Well, at any rate, this lady had what that is, where you can read people and you can be like,
Got it.
I'm not a weirdo. Like, and it's convincing. And so she got away with stuff for far longer, which is terrible. Anyway, it's such a sad story because she does have one child who is older, who's alive.
Oh, no.
He was like from a separate marriage.
Yeah.
But he's an adult with his own family now, and he's just like all alone because his mom's in jail for being a lunatic. Oh. Anyway, you should watch that. It's on Netflix.
I watched the Army Hammer one.
Sarah.
Susie. Everybody, I got the 7-day free trial subscription to that because
Wait, I thought you used my account.
Yeah, it didn't work. And then
my password?
Like, it did, but it was like, I don't know. Maybe it like sent a link to you, like you had to verify or something. I don't know, whatever.
Get out of
but
here.
I was like, I got to watch this right now. I can't
sorry.
wait. And no, don't. There was some reason for it. Who knows? But oh my God, everybody needs to watch that.
It's so sad.
It's so obvious. That guy should be in jail.
Yes.
He's
and there's no hope,
up.
Right?
No, absolutely none.
Like, he doesn't even see what the big fuss is.
There is no chance that I do not think that there is an
it's like generational trauma /
of where, like,
sociopathy.
The moral compass is so fucking skewed in the wrong direction, pointing in the, it's bad. It's all bad.
Yeah, it's bad news.
Bad.
Oh, I wanted to talk to you about this. So John Oliver did one of his like deep dive segments. It's like a 25-minute segment on Law and Order.
Oh.
And so we have to talk about it.
Okay.
So he's talking about the fact that the creator, Dick Wolf, is unabashedly and openly pro-law enforcement, and that is the approach that they've taken all these years, and that they're not interested in sort of any nuance about who the good guys are, who the bad guys are, and all that. And since you're such a fan of the franchise, I wonder, like, what your thoughts are on that. I'm sure you've noticed.
Absolutely, I have.
Yeah.
I am and I should say I watched Law and Order. It was something I watched when I was younger, so it has like that nostalgia kind of like feeling for me, and I watched it with my grandma and everything. Mm-hmm. But the ones that I kept up on were Law and Order Special Victims Unit, because they did in that show speak about sexual abuse and sexual assault and being a survivor and with the right language and in the right way, and called out things that really needed to be said. This is how I think of this. Sometimes if you are a child who, say, had two really shitty parents, you will put the one who's less shitty on a pedestal.
Yeah, right.
And you will
I'm like, blink twice for I understand.
Right.
Yeah.
People know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And so you will look past some of the faults of the not as awful parent.
Not as abusive, yeah.
Correct. And I feel like this is kind of that for me, where I will look past the ways that I see how they are on the side of the police and on the side of, not abolishing the whole system. But I do, and like
you don't feel conflicted about it because you're just like, I get it.
I do feel conflicted about it.
Okay.
And I do think that I think they choose to do that less or make it a little less obvious in the Law and Order Special Victims one, because it's like not as much part of the storyline. Like it's more like the side that you're on, the clear side is like victim or perpetrator.
Right. It's an easier choice.
It's an easier choice.
Yeah.
So, and I will say that I felt far more uncomfortable in newer episodes in the recent ones. That I have definitely seen a change post-pandemic. After they started, there was a brief moment where they had them wearing masks for a bit on the show, and it feels like from then on, it was different.
Okay. John talks about, and if you are a cop or you're married to a cop or you just freaking love law enforcement, like whatevs. Yeah. I'm just saying, I think that we should maybe all be open to the idea that it's like Chris Rock said, certain professions shouldn't have bad apples, like pilots.
Yeah.
That's what he says. Like, you can't have one pilot that's just like really bad at landing.
Right.
Like,
that should be a requirement of the job being,
and so I think that's what a lot of people say. Like, these are the exceptions, the bad, like the George Floyd situation. That was a bad apple. Mm-hmm. Rather than exploring like how the
entire
system
orchard's
works.
gone rotten. Just so we're clear.
Yeah. So the Law and Order franchise is built upon the idea that of the bad apple thing, and so they talk about how like if they were to be more nuanced or balanced in that portrayal, that it would be very hard for them to shoot in New York City because all of their filming is done on the streets of New York City,
right.
and the cops facilitate that.
Yes, they do. Oh my gosh!
And so the cops will come up to them and they say, "Thanks for making us look good," instead of saying like, "Thanks for telling
properly representing
accurate.
our
So that might be something to think about.
Yeah.
And like 97% of criminal cases result in a plea deal.
Uh-huh.
That isn't what the show shows. The show shows people being arrested and then tried.
Law and order.
Only 3% of people are actually tried, and the reason for that is myriad. And usually, oh my God, this is a tangent. Let me just say.
I love what's happening here.
Oh my God, I am worked up about this thing I'm about to say. But in the meantime, let me say, don't you want your hair to not be falling out and thinning and dealing with a botched bleach job like Susan?
Yeah.
Well, Nutrafol to the rescue. Because whether you've maybe had pregnancy hair loss or hormonal hair loss, or if you have a really bad stylist like I did, you are going to want to try Nutrafol, which is a hair growth supplement clinically shown to improve your hair growth, thickness, and visible scalp coverage.
This is like your tearful, like
yeah, right. What if I started
grace,
crying?
Yeah.
Yes,
like me.
Because for real, not unlike skin, which I've dealt with as well, the hair and the skin, all of that stuff, it's embedded within your self-worth.
Yes.
And your, confidence. Yes. And now you can grow thicker, healthier hair and support our show by going to Nutrafol.com, entering the promo code BRAINCANDY to save $15 off your first month's subscription. This is their best offer anywhere, and it is only available to U.S. customers for a limited time. Nutrafol.com or promo code BRAINCANDY. Try it. Because I'm noticing, look, if you're watching on Patreon, all this.
I notice a big difference in it. It lays down now.
Nutrafol. Yeah, it lays down now. It's not like, pew, pew. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, and not to be mean about Law and Order.
No, I'm with you. This is the parent. This is the saying not to talk bad about your one parent who totally abuses you.
Like the half decent parent,
right.
But Law and Order makes you think you can trust people in positions like that when maybe you shouldn't, because the world is messed up, and it really concerns me. But I don't know, man. Yeah. Like, if a medical show was saying, like, false information, like, hey, smoking's fine. You don't need vaccines. Like, any kind of, like, unscientific stuff, people would be like, we need to take that off the air. Yeah. But whenever it's about legal stuff.
Say that, it seems like there are a lot of these kind of shows.
Yeah. Because they participate and they consult and they provide, and it's hashtag not all cops, it's for sure.
All part of the system, yes.
But if the system is corrupt and whatever, it's a real bummer. So that was really interesting. I think you should watch it, though, because, I mean, John Oliver's hilarious, so he makes it really funny.
I want anything that he is looking at, doing a deep dive into. So good.
Let me ask you this. This is my last thing, I guess. Maybe not. There was an article in the Atlantic about the nude beaches, and it was saying, did you read it?
No, I didn't, but I was just, last time we were talking, I was just thinking about nudists, so it's so funny that, okay, anyways, it was like my own little thought.
You're
inside
the only
my head
person in the world who would be like, I was just thinking about nudists.
And there's a reason for it, but go ahead.
Okay. Well, Atlantic was asking the question, did the internet kill nude beaches?
Oh, and they're dead?
They're pretty much dead.
Why? Because people can take selfies and post them, or people take pics and post them?
They gave, like, several theories about why. But so one of them was, if you want to see naked people, you can just go online. Google. So there's access to nudity at your fingertips. The second thing they said was that women in particular don't want to be filmed, and they know that someone's going to take a picture or video and then post it on some random website.
For sure.
But then the third thing they claimed, which I am not sure I agree with, which is they say that because of, like, social media and stuff, we all have really gone all in believing that, like, people are more beautiful than we are. That beauty standards are more intense because everyone photoshops and uses filters and stuff like that, and they don't want to derobe because they think.
I would agree. I think this is true. I think there's part of that.
Okay, I'm glad you agree, because then we can have a conversation. What?
We talked about this with singing too. You were talking to me about how there's some article that you read that said that less people are less likely to sing now because we're comparing it to, there's this idea that we have to sing well, and shows like America's all that kind of.
If
say,
you were
like,
on a nude beach,
okay,
maybe you wouldn't want someone to film you or whatever, but also you feel like you would think, I have cellulite, or I have whatever flaw.
Well, this is the part about where I was thinking about nudists on the last time we were talking about something with how important it is to be open and to not have secrets. And in my mind, I was like, the older I get, the more and more I'm like, I get nudists. Like, I totally am like, you're just laying it all out there. And like, and so I was thinking about this. That's what I was thinking about. And so I feel like the kind of person, when I felt very self-conscious and insecure, I would not want to visit a nude beach as like a person, like taking my clothes off at the beach.
Fair enough. But I can see that.
The more secure I get in who I am now, let's do it. I'm like this. But just try to keep these titties contained, please.
To put it though on the internet or social media and these beauty standards seems, I don't know. I'm conflicted about it because I know what they mean.
Yeah.
Everyone's getting more fillers and Botox and filters and all that. But on the other hand, I feel like we're bombarded with like different types of bodies and everybody's beautiful. All of that, like body positivity.
Yeah. So I feel like they're different categories. I feel like the kind of people who, I think this is different than Like nude beach, like a topless beach or a nude beach, I think is different than even like, I think for the kind of person who would want to go to a nude beach and like be nude, it's always not the people you think it's going to be. It's the people who like don't care what they look like and they're just letting it all hang out.
Yeah.
Those people are less self-conscious than the person who's wearing a bikini at the regular beach.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So I think this is two different. I think what we're really like this are there may be two different conversations in this article or in this one thing here.
So people that are like traditionally or classically beautiful but imperfect, because we all are, maybe less inclined than someone who's like clearly outside of the...
Totally.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Interesting.
Totally. That's why you ever like watch any documentary or anything about a nudist colony or like nudist camps.
Yeah,
or
they're
whatever.
not hot. They're not hot.
None of those. It's not filled with like supermodels walking around. You get a few with like good bodies, but sometimes I think it's just because they stay active because they're outside all the time.
Yeah, right. Usually it's maybe older folks who are like, oh, fuck
people
it.
who are like, fuck it. I don't give a shit anymore. Who cares? There's nobody here to judge me. So I think there's
Here's what I want to know.
something different happening.
This is a question for Sarah's Got a Theory, because this guy that they interviewed for the article, he wrote some book about nudity and tourism or something. And he was saying, like, over the course of his career, like, it used to be about 50-50 men and women on these nudist beaches.
Oh.
And now it's 95% men.
What?
And I want to know, is it gay men?
Oh.
Or men who are like, where are the naked ladies? Like, they're all there looking for...
This is so crazy to me.
95%.
Because I am the 5%.
They're so happy to see you.
So now I don't want to go because now it's like unless it's gay.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm wondering. Maybe it's gay guys that are like, yeah, let's get these dicks out. Let's do this.
That I'm for. But
yes.
This is interesting because like I love being in Europe. I love a topless beach. I absolutely...
Right, like naked ladies.
I don't understand why I even need to wear... Like, these ain't holding anything up.
It should only be naked women.
And I would say 95% of those men at the beach have bigger titties than I do. So what's the problem here? I don't get it. And...
the only person that wants to see a naked man is a gay man. Nobody else does. I don't want to see a naked man at the beach. I want to see naked ladies, beautiful ladies. Sarah clearly wants to see naked men.
No, I'd probably get the same thing from a Speedo or
your
board
weird
shorts.
balls.
No, I don't need to see any. No, I've never been like, oh, I saw your dick. Now I'm in.
Now I'm sold.
Yeah. No.
I saw your saggy balls.
Unless we're talking about John Hamm.
Well, yeah, of course. He should be on every naked beach.
Only he should only visit nude.
He shouldn't even own clothes.
For sure.
John Hamm. Poor John. You know, he dated Jenny Slade. Little Weirds.
He did too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. See?
Yep. He loves
likes
a Jew.
him funny.
He likes him funny. Yeah. Yes, I love him so much. Anyway, he shouldn't own clothes. But do you think that 95% is gay guys? Like, hey, let's get our balls out.
We need another survey. We got to.
But nobody knows the answer. It's just conjecture at this point.
All right.
Okay. Well, something to think about.
Yeah. And where are these nude beaches?
Europe. Not here.
Not here.
Almost every nude beach in America is now no longer nude. That's what it said.
Is that because it's not allowed?
Well, we're puritanical, number one.
What's the problem?
Well, sex is seen as...
You see?
Right. yeah.
And most of the time on Nude, like, this is dumb. I just think it's stupid. We should, like, who cares? The reason it's really doing people a disservice.
You feel like people shouldn't always be able to be naked at the beach?
I feel like if we were more casual about our relationship with the human body, and we're just like, this is a body. I got one. You got one. Look at how different
most of them are gross, though.
Yeah, but if, like, we accept that they're all gross, then, like, nobody's gross and everybody's fine and everybody just needs to chill the fuck out. And I think things would be less taboo and we'd be less worried and there'd be less, like, places where there's more sexual education and more openness and talk about sex have less rates of sexual assault, sexual abuse, things like that. And teen pregnancy and more awareness around the topic. So
Sarah's not wrong.
I know I'm not. Yeah,
No.
but I do like to hear it.
But I do like to hear it. All right, let's wind it down.
I'll get wound up.
John Hamm, if you're listening, you're very handsome. Dinner should only be a dinner. It should not be a mystery to solve. It should not be a...
Debatable.
It should not be blind. Why would I do that? I want to see what I'm eating. What if there's a puberty in my hair or in my hair, in my meal?
Everything that you just said. That was funny.
What if there's a puberty in my dinner?
Pubic
Because
hair?
we've all Adam thinks it's funny when I call it a puberty.
It is really funny when you call it a puberty.
Because it sounds like a noun of the hair.
Yeah. Man, there's a puberty in my soup.
Puberty. It's even funnier when you say it.
Great.
Because haven't you ever gotten a hair in your meal?
Yeah, most of the time they're mine.
At a restaurant?
Well, I mean, not like baked in, but I shed a lot.
Baked in. I don't know. Yeah, I want to see my food, okay?
Yeah. But
birthday song sucks in America.
Totally. But if you did not grow up in America or your family taught you a badass song from anywhere else but America, I want to hear it.
Sins of your mother, or our mother. Mm-hmm. My God, the Mormons, I'm so sorry for you guys. Interestingly enough, in the United States, Mormonism, LDS, is one of the only faiths that is increasing.
Well,
almost
that's
every
part of their
so then equal distribution of crazies then.
So that's what I'm saying is like this is what I think this is less about, the problem with Mormonism. I think if there were other religions,
it's just a numbers game?
I think it has to do with I think it's religion drawing in. That's what I was trying to say earlier, but like
what?
That the things that religion offer, the religion and is the walking up the mountain, and like the mental illness is like the jetpack strapped to your back, and it like a lot of times it's a similar it's like collective effervescence. It's like a boost of serotonin and dopamine. It's like the feeling of connectedness. It's like connecting to one. Those are. I bet if you were to look at a brain scan of somebody in the middle of like singing at a church service, and somebody who maybe was in like a manic episode, I would be interested to see what would be similar and what would be different.
Just for anyone listening, Sarah is not using the correct usage of collective effervescence. I don't want
that warm feeling that you get when you're with a whole bunch of people and it feels really, really good. I think that might be a similar feeling that somebody who is like bipolar gets when they're thinking about like relationships with people that don't really exist, but it mimicks that they're
that's possible for sure.
That's kind of how that was like what I was.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah.
I just didn't want like Durkheim rolling over in his grave.
No.
But,
they were very
I think you're right, though.
This is a very PC. Like, I don't have any clear one thought that I finished or sentence that I finished in all of this. Again, this was just like ideas that I floating through my head.
Totally off the top of our head. My God.
Yeah, come on now.
Believe me, as somebody who wondered if dinosaurs ate buffalo. Look, I don't judge, but Law and Order, I do judge.
Definitely.
I'm not so sure about it. We'll have to keep the
Sometimes
conversation
they're misrepresenting
going.
judges.
And nude beaches, hey, is it gay people? Or is it just perverts? We don't know.
And Sarah.
95 perverts, Sarah, and 4 other ladies.
Like, all I'm searching for is a beach where I can take all my clothes off. Like, what, is it only me?
Even your underpants?
Yes, I want total freedom. What I really want is to not have anybody else around. I don't want other people. It's not like I want to put on a show. My dream is to find
her own
private. I want like my own private beach,
So you aren't interested in like just being naked in front of
nature.
Naked in nature.
Yeah.
Okay, that's something to
Oh my gosh, you ain't lived unless you skinny dipped in the ocean. Woo! It feels good.
Oh,
the waves, stuff.
I don't know. Something to think about. Yeah. Can you guys leave us a review? Because I'm really hung up on that guy leaving us a bad one. And can you subscribe and tell a friend? And check out our merch because every time we get a sale, I get excited.
Yeah, man.
All right, we'll see you next time.